How are you doing, Internet? I'm Venus, and today I'll be taking a break from playing Layers of Fear to bring you a review to Kotobukiya's model kit 1-to-1 scale from the Megami Device line, from the Chaos and Pretty set. This is Witch, the companion piece to the Magical Girl, although this time, for a bit of a change in pace, their parts do not combine. So I suppose, in the first place, that kind of goes back to the original roots, because sets 1 and 2, I believe, Grappler, Sniper, those ones, Scouts, they didn't have combining gimmicks either. You know, that was something that was introduced with Soul. So this will be Chaos and Pretty Witch. If you want a witch model of your own, you can get a copy of it from HLJ.com, as I did. Now, this does come with some interesting extras, as well as, of course, some extra parts. And you can see some of the parts that the kit uses right there on the stage. And you can also see some of the extra runners here. This is Z, and you don't use most of these joints, so they remain. Extra joints on here and on here. What remains of those runners? They look like the backs of the shoulders. Double pegs, so they might still be useful for things. You can stick on anything that has a hole or stick them 2 holes. What remain of runner E? So you have some more wrist type joints. I am not going to spend the time or the space to house these. So you've got 2 of these for the legs, one in flesh tone, the other in white. Can't really see the difference that much on camera. 2 for the shoulder, 2 kneecaps. These joints, I believe this might have something to do with switching to an FA girl's head. This, which you also used somewhere in the waist, I believe. And one of these, which is a part that you fix to the bottom of the skirt in order to close the loop so that you have ports for the clear spikes there. And this one would have gone into the back if I wasn't using the parts that has the clear part there that pegs onto, but I'm using that. Also, you have an extra one of these, like you see on the sniper rifle, that makes it the sniper rifle. So you've got a baton and an extender here, which you can also use. Then you come to what I think is one of the strangest parts, because you have stickers that come with this. And this is used mainly for accents on different parts on this kit. And you can see that instead of using these stickers, I've used my meta purple. So I've done it on the gloves there, on the skirts there, and the boots. Basically anywhere where I thought it would work. And I may have missed a few spots, but I don't think that matters all that much. Also, some color correction they did not catch. I believe that the band here, around here, is supposed to be pink. And it's supposed to be a different color anyway. Actually, from the manual, it looks like these barrels are supposed to be mainly pink, and then the band around the center is supposed to be that light purple that you see. Also, the eye that's on the hat is supposed to be green. So I don't know exactly why they chose to make it purple. Maybe it was more economical because it's already got all the clear purple all around. So they decided not to change that. And they made it clear purple instead, since they already had that number, that color. I do kind of wish that they had decided to make it maybe the orange instead, just so it could stand out more, even though it's kind of reddish orange too. But you have that. And then you have some water slide decals. So you can choose to change the eyes, but because they don't give you a blank face, if you don't have one from another kit, you are going to have to be precise enough to put these right over the existing eyes. And that is going to be pretty tricky. They've also got the Megami Device symbol and characters there. And it looks like some characters between, though I'm not really sure if those are stickers or not. They also give you the usual array of hands. So you've got these trigger finger ones, these regular holding ones, another set of holding ones, some open hands, more open relaxed hands, and some fists. Now, the reason why they give you these two, as well as the regular holding hands and trigger finger hands that you would expect, is because these ones have immobile joints on them, so they're going to be able to hold things a bit stronger. I have had some issues with putting this into a pose. This is a trigger finger hand, and because it will come off, so that can make some issues for you as you're trying to pose and get the rifle into a useful position, as you can clearly see. So these joints may actually help. You also have the same hands in that purple pink, or light purple, or dark pink, either one. And though the manual does not specifically state how to put her into these poses, you can kind of guess just through the pictures. Now, this one would be pretty simple. She's just got the sniper rifle plugged into her back and she's using the pistols. This one, you use the canisters from the pistols to make that into a bazooka, and you use one of those tips there. And you use a small magic circle as the base, and use one of these staves, both of them, to hold up the magic circles up there, and you put them on something that allows them to tilt, just a little hinge. Perhaps a little bit tricky as this one. You use the barrels from the pistols on the butt of the gun and mount the barrels to that, and then attach the magic circles all on a pylon to that. For this one, it seems you attach the barrels to the skirt and then the magic circles to that. So you can infer what you're supposed to do according to the manual without actually consulting the manual, because it doesn't actually show you how. The pieces and accessories you've got here, I've displayed on the base. You have two of these firing effects. They come in three parts, so you have the spike there, the little mini explosion in the middle, and then the base there, with a peg to put into a port. You have three different hair types. Well, you have four. So hold these up as the examples. These are supposed to be from her normal non-transformed mode. So you get two styles, one with a complete head, the other with a flat. The flat is to attach the hat. So it would peg on to there and sit on her head like that. If you don't want to use the hat, or if you want to display it separately, you can use one of the complete heads, either the lighter haired one or the other. And this one seems to have a little joint sitting in it. Little extra piece that was hiding from me. These are for the bare arms mode. So you've also got the skin colored hands. When you attach these, you'll find that they go right into the sleeves, which are separate parts, and then you put in the joint in the hand, or just the hand if you're using the hand that doesn't have the joint, and that is a lot of hand. So we have these ones, which I left here because I'm using regular holding hand and trigger hand on two sides, so these were left over and separate afterwards. You've got one of her armored shoulders here, so I can show you. This is two pieces. You put one into the other kind of sideways, then sandwich that to make it a posable part, so it can go up and down like that. I did paint the fringe part. The main reason why I'm not displaying it with this armor, well, I wanted to display it with one of the other shoulder parts, but I couldn't switch out the little flesh ring that's around the shoulder cuff to put it in, and I didn't want to weaken the attachment point. So I'm leaving that shoulder bare until I can figure out a way to do that. But speaking of the shoulder armor, you have this one, which doesn't have a port. And you have this style, because of course Megami Device and Frame Arms girls have to be able to put ports and pegs everywhere on their bodies. You've also got these ones for the thighs. So they're armor, but they don't have ports. I am using the ones that do have ports. And these are the flesh ones for the unarmored version. And as you can kind of tell, there's not as much difference between the armored or buso version and the unarmored version, in that you mainly use the same leg parts. And it can be somewhat of a pain because, as you will see with seam lines and such, not all of them close all the way all the time. And so I've had trouble with that. I also cut out some of those, and you can see again that this is not a full ball joint, it's just molded as the same part. For optional faces, you get a normal smiling face and a kind of winky concerned face, I guess. You also have this for the stand. This port allows you to peg in a smaller peg, and then you have the peg side. I am using for the stand one that angles up on this side. Then you've got the unarmored bust, which just has that. As you will see later, there is a purple piece that sticks up on the armored version. This is, if you wanted to use these things up here on her back, you would plug them into this on both sides and then put that on the back. So multiple options with those. These things, I'm actually not sure what they are for. They don't seem to correspond with anything that a sniper would use, I don't think. You could use them kind of like drones, so they would be bits or funnels, and the manual shows them attached where I currently have the guns. Then you have the usual bare feet with the toes and full foot molding. I think I put that one on backwards, but I can fix that. You're probably thinking, wait, how can you fix only one set of toes or have only one set of toes backwards? And you're absolutely right. In order to fix these, I had to take both feet apart and switch the toes and then put them in properly. So do pay attention to the toes, and if they look wrong, well, I hope you have a part separator available to help you. Kind of like this. That kind of thing is very useful and handy to have around for those little patch jobs and simple repairs. So those are some fixed toes. Look at the included accessories. The next one to take a look at would be these pistols, which have a simple handle, and currently they have the magic circles attached. And the magic circles are made up of 3 with a connecting part between them all, like that. So you can separate them and attach them however you want. And these are some pretty detailed effect parts, and I like them a lot. For the pistols themselves, you get them only in 2 colors, and as I said, I believe they are the wrong colors. And compare that. They're clearly the same piece, but they are colored wrong. Still, they are functional, and you can take off the canister like that, still have a gun like that, and it goes into the hand relatively simply. Witch's main weapon is her rifle, which is assembled as you see here. It is made using parts in only 2 colors. So you have the floating barrel up here, made up of 3 parts that are sandwiched together. If you remove that, then you have more of a hunting barrel. And you also have the scopes, which you can turn around. They're 2 pieces that are exactly the same, and they both have peg-in ports in their respective ends. You can also remove that. You have the butt of the rifle, which has several ports all around it, and as we saw on the box, you can attach the cylinders to it as so, in order to also then attach the magic circles. Or you can remove the butt, and you can also swing up this part of the butt or the magazine, and this handle moves, and you have additional pegs and ports, and of course you can also remove that part of the stock, which becomes a baton, and also this, and then it becomes a submachine gun. It can, I suppose, become a broom. And I guess that's one of the points of if you do it like this. Then it's a broom for the magical girl, or the witch, to ride. Although this isn't in all that solidly, so you may want to stiffen up that joint. We also have these spikes all around on her armor, and they do come as 2 parts, and they fall apart a lot. If we take the whole thing, yeah, like that. So in other words, you should take all the spikes and glue them together. Another accessory to talk about are these clear parts on her back. They are attached to ball joints on to sort of weak claws like this. So you can attach them and then you can spin them, and they can sort of turn all the way around. So this is pretty flexible and articulate, just as long as you don't go too far against the joint. Also up here you have this to turn it, and then you have another point of articulation up there, just as long as you don't twist it too far, and then it pops up like that. And then of course this was turning as before. So you can, if you can keep them attached, have them face basically any way you want. And as I said, this part allows you to attach them down here. But if you want, you can use the other piece, this piece, and attach them to the back instead. Then the final accessory to talk about is the hat, which also has these horns attached to it. You can put the horns onto anything else, including the broom, to make it a melee weapon. As I said before, they made an odd choice, making the eye purple instead of green as it showed on the box and manual, but it does open up to display a gun, and you can use the barrels in order to extend that, like so. And I'd like to imagine that maybe the first time the witch was transformed, she didn't want to fight, so the AI in the hat had to take over and fire a massive shot the first time at the monster. Also, you can remove the hat fairly simply. Not sure exactly how you would display it, since this isn't a standard connection, but once it's off there, you can display it with the other headpiece if you so desire. And of course, I should also mention the stand. It's almost exactly a standard Megami Device stand apart from the symbol on the bottom. It is not very strong or stable because of it's on a ball joint on the bottom and the peg on top, and it's not very tall, but it will serve if you don't have another base. And you can also see the ring there has the peg that sticks up, whereas this one is straight. So you have this one if you want to peg into, I guess, the back, or this, or here, and then it's straight for straight into the back. So you can sort of see on the back it's attached there, but everywhere else that skirt is floating. For articulation, the head can kind of go that far up and this far down. Kind of hard to tell, but yeah, it is moving up and down. The neck allows her to look even that far up and down into her chest plate. If we were using the other chest plate, it would go a little bit further. The armor articulates that way and the head drops off, which allows the arm to go up that far. Unarmored, the arm can go up this far, although only if you're careful enough to keep the joint in. The elbow joint can go that far when it's armored, and this far unarmored. The wrist, of course, is that ball jointed socket with a swivel on it, so you can rotate it and then get it in any direction that you want. And that is true of any of them, because of the way that the armor is designed, these sleeves, it does not inhibit the motion at all. For the waist, you've got a ball joint up in here, although it does look like it's connected in a weird way. You have the rotation, a crunch that goes that far forward and not very far back. That far forward, that far to the side, that far backwards before it begins to separate. So not a whole lot, and it's actually not the skirt that's interfering, it's just the design. But she is a range fighter mainly, so that's not going to affect her ability to do very much. With the knee, a very nice bend all the way. At the ankle, with these boots, you have a toe joint and a slight tilt that way. Can go down this far, up like that, and then it starts to come off, and then you can not really turn it very much, but the armor moves with it. But it's supposed to be like that. Anyway, do Sotai mode. I'm going to take that off, put on this foot, and it has that, the toe joint of course, can go around here, down, and up, before losing it again. So both are pretty good. I prefer this interesting design of the boot. Let's see, we have the other bust. Just attaches like that, and then I can do the neck all the way down, and you can see into the top of her head. Posability is good, but not great, and I think her design is very interesting, and I like it better than the Magical Girl because it's got these different flares and armor options, and so you can go for whatever you want. If you like the thigh like that, or the arms like that, assuming of course you can get the flesh ring off. Kind of sounds weird saying it like that. In my opinion, Chaos and Pretty Witch does make an interesting and very unique entry into the Megami Device line by Kotobukiya, and I do think it's worth it as long as you like the magic or ranged weapon themes. If you don't like that, or the transformation gimmick from normal girl to magical girl or witch, then you probably won't like this. But I think I said in one of my plastic impressions videos, or will say once I release that as well, that some people might get it just for the effect parts. I mean, it's got some good firing effects, and it's got some good magic circle effects, which you're going to be hard pressed to find anywhere else, especially in this kind of colors. Now you've got the darkness set, but those colors aren't the same, and I don't think they'd work quite as well. Although the darkness version does have some interesting decals, and it shows how to use the accessories in some different ways that could also be interesting. I can only recommend this in as far as you might be interested in the magical girl side, or in someone who uses a sniper rifle, broom, and pistols. But as long as this is to your taste in one way or another, I can definitely recommend that you go out and get this. One thing I should probably mention as I go for a quick height comparison, the stand isn't going to do for a lot of action poses. For that, I would recommend a Figma base or an action base. Now, as you can see, the Megami Device is smaller and shorter, both proportionally and height-wise, than the Pretty Armor version 1. Slightly more direct comparison can be drawn height-wise to a high-grade Gundam kit. However, the Megami Device, which still stands about a head above the high-grade Second Symphony. Who knows, maybe looking at the shape, these are supposed to be grenades. Magical ones, of course. But in any case, that about does it for this review. If you enjoyed it, you can leave a like, comment below what you thought, subscribe to show your support for my channel, and visit my Patreon. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!